So in this video, I wanted to take a quick look at a new family of pens from Pentel called the Calme line. These are pens that Pentel says are supposed to make you and the people around you calm when you're using them, as opposed to, making you anxious or something like that. They do that through a couple of features that we'll get into, but basically it's a new line. It's kind of a big, I would say, change of pace for Pentel. It's not typically what I would expect to see from the company. So I was pretty excited to get my hands on these. They came out, I think, the end of 2021, like maybe November, December. They've been pretty hard to get your hands on them, particularly in the 0.7 millimeter. I was only able to buy them in the 0.5 millimeter. I waited to do this video, but finally, I just figured I would just go ahead and do it without having tested out the 0.5, which is the ink we actually kind of know, again, which we'll get into in a second. So Pentel says the Calme line is a ballpoint pen that is comfortable and casually carrying, not only for the user, but also for those around him. So what does that mean? And that's just, I'm quoting from their materials there. That comes across in 3 different features. One, it has a calm, quiet click. It has this leather-like grip. They say it feels like leather. It's just a rubberized material, but according to them, it's like leather. And then it has a smooth ballpoint ink that is supposed to be calming to use. So basically, it's a quiet pen that's well-designed. That was basically the same pitch for this pen, which was the Zebra Blend, which came out in 2018 and has been one of my favorite pens released in a very long time. So I think the two are very closely related, and I'll try to do some quick comparisons of the two in this video. So what's the deal with the Calme line? It has come across, like I said, 2 ink sizes, refill sizes, whatever you want to call it, 0.5, 0.7 millimeter, 3 different pens. The first one is this. It's called the Calme monochromatic or Calme single color. It's a single color retractable pen. The body comes in, I think, white, black, this kind of olive drab or brown, whatever this is, and then a red. I don't have all the colors, so we'll just go with what I have. There's also this pen. This is called the Calme 3. It is a 3-color multi-pen. Red, black, blue. It has these sliders here, and then also this is a slider. Is it quieter than normal? I guess so. We'll get into that in a second. Lastly is the pen I don't have. It's called the Calme 2 Plus S. That means Calme 2 color pen plus sharp, which is just your pencil. So it's 2 colors. I think it's the black and the red with a 0.5 millimeter mechanical pencil. Again, that's the Calme 2 Plus S. So they call it the Calme multifunction on the website. I don't have that one, but it's very similar to this one. These have been pretty hard to get your hands on, and I don't know if anyone's selling them in the US yet. So if you want one, you're still having to get one from Amazon Japan or whatever your favorite Japanese retailer is. The single color one has a very nice 150 yen, so about $1.50, $2 price. The 3 color is $4, and I think or 400 yen rather, and then the 2 Plus S, I think, is right around that. It's either 400 or 500. So that is sort of the basics. I do have the white one here, but it's kind of blowing out the video, so we'll focus on the green. The white is no different. So let's look at the features of the pen. We see that rubberized grip. They say it feels like leather. It doesn't. It feels like a rubberized grip. It's no different than the rubberized grip on this Zebra or any other pen that you reach out for. That they kind of all feel the same. Some are harder than others, some are softer. This is a hard rubber material. It is slightly textured, but I guess that's the texture of a rough leather. I don't know, but it's rubberized. The tip, no metal tip protector. These are all plastic. The tip protector is meant to prevent rattling. You see a really nice fit between those two. So there's no tip rattle here, which is a really nice feature. With the Blend, Zebra specifically said this pen was designed not to move at all, have a completely silent writing experience. the Calme didn't call it out in their marketing materials, but I think that was kind of one of the kind of the selling points of this pen as well. Not only does it have this super smooth ink that they say, but it also has a smooth writing experience, but they didn't call it out on the page. I think they would probably want to maintain a little bit of distance from the Zebra. The retractable or the knock mechanism is the clip. It is built in to the body, which is quite cool. It's kind of a fun little mechanism. It's quiet. They say it's 66% quieter than a normal click. I don't know, is that? I think it's gonna vary on the pen. This is a Pentel Energel. That's a loud click. This is silent. I don't know if it's gonna like calm you or the people around you, but it's quiet, and you can't, like if you were doing this on a conference call in an office setting, it's quiet, but it's still pretty annoying. So I don't know if I fully get what they're saying, but whatever. Opening it up, we can see all plastic pen. And then we have a ballpoint refill, kind of an old school ballpoint refill. This one is called, it's really hard to make out, but it's the BXM 5H. This is an oil-based refill, so a ballpoint refill that uses their low viscosity, so Pentel's low viscosity ballpoint. It's just the refill that you found in the Pentel Vicuna line. That's the, I wrote down Vicuna, that's a line of smooth or modern style ballpoint pens from Pentel. You could buy a Vicuna. You've been able to buy them for a very long time. They haven't been super popular, but it's similar to the Pilot, the Acro line, which a lot of us like, and similar but not as good as the Jetstream. These are ballpoint pens, all kind of similar. Most people like the Jetstream the best. Acro is a pretty good runner-up. Vicuna is not quite there, but it's a smooth ballpoint ink. So you can actually get these refills if you find that BXM line. I think they're only sold in the 0.5 and 0.7 millimeter. Maybe there's a 0.38 or something. I don't think so. And I'm not sure that there's a 1.0 millimeter, but I'll be on the hunt for that. As far as the multi-pen goes, we see very similar material. Not quite the same width. I think it's a little bit wider, but it's pretty thin for a multi-pen, which is nice. Still no metal here. These are all plastic pens. You know, the branding is a little bit different one, different model number here. All that is changed as you'd expect. It's a slider, nice and quiet. Nice and quiet. And then to get the black, you have this thing. The mechanism, I will say, is not that good. It feels actually really sloppy. And I don't know, it's like to do all this investment and then have a sort of loose mechanism that feels sort of fragile. It was very disappointing to me. Basically, you have a clip here. The clips are usually strong things. They're meant to be put, on your pants or used regularly. This clip is a slider. That's fine. A lot of companies do that, but it's like it just sort of wobbles all over. It's really loose. It has this side-to-side play here. I'm not pushing it hard. This is just not a very secure clip. And this were to break, you can't use the black color on your pen, which is obviously pretty annoying. So I don't know. The pen overall has a nice build quality. I like the grip. It feels fine. It's a solid pen. It's not heavy. It doesn't have the weighting of the blend. The blend added a pretty big chunk of brass in the front here to make it stable and bottom heavy. We don't see that replicated with the Calme. And then this clip on the multi-pen is just not very nice. Just sort of disappointing there. The whole mechanism is just a little bit loose. Like, why is this not doing the job? Because you need to push it down, but then also apply the downward pressure there. So anyway, I don't really like it as a multi-pen. We open it up, we see those same refills actually. So you get at 3 times the ink. You're not downgrading to a multi-pen refill. It's the same refill. So, which means the actual standard pen is kind of using a smaller refill than it technically should be using. Like, here's the multi-pen refill. Here is the standard refill. not exactly the same refill, but if you look at the ink capacity, they're really close. So it's kind of, I feel like you're kind of being punished for getting the single pen. Usually a single pen will use a proportionally larger refill than a multi-pen. This one is a little bit larger. So I don't know, it just seems like a little bit wasteful for me. Is this the right one? And then there's the spring in here, a little bit tough to get at. And there. This clip is definitely better. It's still loose, right? It's loose here. It has some side-to-side wobble, which I really don't like. I don't know why it's like this, but it has a nicer click to it, but it's really sort of loose and wiggly, which I don't know, just bothers me clearly. Okay, so let's get into the writing experience quickly. There you go. Let's get into the writing experience. This is a standard ballpoint ink. Like I said, it's a modern style ballpoint ink. It's from the Pentel Vicuna. It's the same ink, comparable to the Zebra emulsion ink, comparable to the Pilot Acro, the Jetstream, all that. This is the 0.5 millimeter. I've used 0.7 millimeter Vicunas, but I've never used the 0.7 millimeter Calme. So I'm gonna guess they're very similar, but I obviously couldn't say that without testing. It's a totally acceptable, totally fine ballpoint ink. Not really anything to write home about. Does the job, lasts for a long time. I've been using these pens, like I said, for some weeks now and writing with them a fair bit. And, you know, I've not really made much of a dent in this white one. Maybe it was up to here or so when I got it. You know, it's ballpoint, so it lasts a very long time, unlike a, you know, a gel or rollerball, where the pen, you know, you can see it losing ink from day to day. Ballpoints last a lot longer. So it's a totally fine ballpoint. I don't think it's as good as the Jetstream or the Acro, but it's smooth and it writes nicely, writes on most surfaces. You know, the blue is a little light. I like this light. I like to see it light, a little bit more color pop, same with the black, but for 0.5 millimeter, totally fine. The pen, as you can tell, when you're writing, it's nice and quiet. No tip rattle. When you move it around, nothing there. And this, for the record, is the multi-pen. So nice and quiet. That's really nice. Same here. So Pentel got all that stuff covered. The pen is quiet. It feels solid in your hand. They drop the ball in the clip, but everything else gets the job done. And then to do a quick comparison between the Calme and the Blend, we see a lot of similarities. So just off the surface, they're both ballpoints, okay? They both have a hard plastic with a rubberized grip. They both have optimized front pieces for no tip rattle, but again, like having a tip that doesn't rattle is a admirable feature in any pen. So I wouldn't like ding anyone for doing that. You're not copying someone by having a good pen. They both have sort of, like the clips are not the same. This is a kind of an integrated clip where it is part of the top button. This one, it looks different, but it's clearly similar, right? The clip is what you're clicking, just like with this. Here it is off to the side and this top piece isn't moving. Here it's the whole piece. But I think like for me, they strike me as being similar. I'm not saying one company copied the other or anything like that, but it just, for me, it seems like a clip innovation was added to the pen in order to give it some sort of nicer or like higher end type click rather than just doing, you know, your millionth pen with a button. So that was there. Past that, again, they have a sort of similar, I guess, aesthetic, but that's kind of the end of the similarities. I mean, I guess they both have very quiet branding. This one, it says Blend here. Zebra is, I don't think it says Zebra anywhere on it. This one, very Calme branding. You can see the Pentel here. It says Calme, so some branding, but nothing up here. No mark on the back. Pentel almost always does something over here. In this case, they didn't. I don't know. It's just sort of like, I could see them being very similar pens. So if you like the Blend, you're probably interested in checking out the Calme. overall, I do prefer the blend, just no real comparison there. I think it's just nicer done. Oh, and both were done by high-end designers. For Zebra, they went to the Nendo, N-E-N-D-O agency, and then Blen got a red dot awardee, or sorry, red dot judge designer or something like that, named Miyake, who seems like he's pretty good at his job. So they so a high-end designer is used, which is like a cool thing to see. It's something you would see Lamy has done a lot, but it's not like a lot of these pen companies are going ahead and pulling in third-party designers. So that, I think, about covers it. It's the Pentel Calme. Interesting release, really nice move from Pentel. I think it's a good writer and a cool pen and a great concept. You know, I don't know if it like makes you calm. All that sort of stuff is like interesting to say, but I guess the point is this is sort of like, you know, a pen for adults, or a kind of a more mature pen. It's nice. It is well designed and relaxed to use, which are all great things. I think this one needed a little bit more time in the oven as far as the clip. And I would have liked to seen a better refill in the monochrome version. What they used was totally fine for the multi-pen version. For the mono version, I'm going to try to experiment and see if I can get a slightly higher end refill in here. I'm going to play with that a little bit in some upcoming videos. Anyway, that's the Pentel Calme. Really cool release from Pentel. Happy this one came out and that the video has finally released. Thanks for watching.